I mean, wonderful pictures of the passport. Yeah, but that was fantastic. Seeing you behave like a VJ in the end was amazing, you know. That side has not been seen and exposed before. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand, Arnab Goswami. All right. Okay, where do we begin? Just like love story. Okay, I think we want to look at this as like a biopic where we find out where he came from and his long journey, not so long, but a journey it is. But the first question on everybody's lips, I think we can't avoid that or not, and you must tell us, is why did you stop? You're top of the ratings, you wiped out everybody else, you're the only name everybody knows on television in English, and then suddenly one day Arnab is gone. Yep.
They've decided I don't need a mic. It's a plot by a businessman. So they say that you should quit when you're at your peak. Everybody has a different standard, Cyrus. My peak was when there was this middle-aged man, very muscular, decided to put on fake sideburns. And at 9:45 every night, would do a take-off on me. Who's that guy? At 9:45 every night, and for some reason, he would do it exactly at the time when I was on air.
Yeah, but he started behaving like a VJ. You saw the ending, he was chanting and screaming on stage with rockers and rappers and people under 25.
So I decided this is the peak of my career with Cyrus Broacha. Okay. Every night Cyrus Broacha is me. Oh my God, Cyrus, I got identity crisis.
Or now you may hide behind the sarcasm and the humor, but the truth is...
I don't hide behind nothing, Cyrus.
And off the record, let me tell you, he's confessed to me on a flight which we spent together for some reason, and that is, it was the vegetarian food. They couldn't take the vegetarian food in times now. So we shall come to a little later, but let's now go back and find out your journey. Arnab, you started out with the other channel. Shall I say the name, NTV?
Don't worry. Be completely yourself. Silence.
Alright. So tell us about the NTV journey.
Take a deep breath, ask anything tonight.
Alright.
Don't worry.
You won't get angry.
I have a question for you.
You won't get angry.
I have a question for you.
You won't shout.
I have a question for you. Why do you have the shades on your head?
But these are my mother's shades. As you can see, they're female shades. Mine broke at a show we did on Saturday. But my mother is his biggest fan. So only to wear it just to tell you that she absolutely adores
Give
you.
her my love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's not push it. Just fan.
See, I'm not used to it.
Start making obscene gestures with his hand, for God's sake. Yeah, so we want
Cyrus, you have to be a little more assertive while asking me questions. I'm not used to.
Or I'll be like Rahul Gandhi down here.
Go on.
Alright. So we want to look at it from a chronology, from a sort of media point of view. So let's just go back. England, education.
Hindu College, Delhi University. Before that,
it's very political. Now with JNU and everything, heating up all the time.
Hindu College is a college. There is a school next to it called St. Stephen's. And before that, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Jabalpur, gun carriage factory #1. I don't have any aristocratic background. I'm an army officer's son. I studied all over India, Khadki, Pune, Jabalpur, Jodhpur, Shillong, Guwahati, Delhi, and finally I went to Hindu College, Delhi, where I did my graduation with a person called Arjun Rampal, who's still 30 years old.
Who could be told apart.
And we had a great time, 3 years in college, Hindu.
But if memory serves, even in Hindu have this rivalry and including debates and everything else. Was a young Arnab into all that? Was he one of those?
Oh yeah, I was into debating from the start, Cyrus. It's the only thing I did well. I was always a very nervous kid. And then in class 7, one day I did elocution, and there was this poem called "Oh Captain, My Captain."
Oh, wonderful.
From a book called Panorama, and I suddenly realized that I can recite. Then by class 8, I realized I can debate, and I forgot all the fear. I had a Western music teacher at that time called Loy Mendonça. He had decided to dedicate the rest of his career to teaching children how to sing. He tried his best on me and got so disappointed that he never took up singing again. And this is the same Loy Mendonca who's now part of Shankar Ehsaan Loy. So he was my Western music teacher in Mount St. Mary's in Delhi. It's great years. So I've been a debater through and through and through. And
so it's fair to say that Arnab would have been a loud sort of personality, whatever happened, either a singer or a debater. You were always going to make a lot of noise. Very effective.
Well, it was very effective because you get noticed when you're speaking. When you're out there, Cyrus, and there is a lot of people in front of you. Remember, we are argumentative Indians. If I pick up a subject today, this audience will divide into 50-50 or 60-40 or 90-10.
The gentleman who's leaving the room fought with me over kidney issues. Which is now being dispelled. Have a good one, mate. Yeah.
That was a debate.
Yeah, so it's important to know this because, of course, you changed the face of television, that comes much later. You then went to England. Yeah. And Oxford is in Cambridge.
I went to Oxford University. I did my post-graduation in social anthropology. I understood very little of the subject.
Well, you gave a politician, so anthropology was so handy.
Just had fun.
And just take us up England bit for a second. What was the like of experiences like? Did you know you were in
No, we were all just wanting to do something after our graduation. See, you must understand, we were in college in the early 90s. We were the first post-reforms generation of this country. So everybody just wanted to do an MBA. And some of us got a chance to go abroad. We went out. We just went for the experience. It was a big deal to go and study in the UK. No planning, nothing, just very relaxed, had a good time. And came back.
What we would like to know is the inside, private details of the young Arnab, the angry young man, some call the English Amitabh Bachchan, because you're angry and wants to change the world. What were the girls like? He's silent, he's doing a Rahul. What the hell, yaar? They want to know, see, everybody knows about your political opinions and all, which we will get to, of course, and talk about the celebrities and politicians you've met. But let's know a little bit about your personal life.
I would go every morning, put on oil in my hair and go to the library and study. And then after that, I would go to the tutor's house, and then I would come back to my room and study some more. And then I would eat some khichdi in my room and go to sleep. Why does that appear to be an unreal possibility for you, Mr. Broacha? Now, Mr. Broacha, you have to answer this question. You cannot assume, Mr. Broacha, that everybody has modeled their youth on you. Mr. Broacha, you are not the ideal youth's role model.
That's foreplay. That's foreplay.
I would request you not to cross the Lakshman Rekha like you're doing right now.
Arnab, they want to know, they have to hear it. You want to hear it, right? Yeah. We all want to hear that line. It's important for our blood pressure and everything else. The nation wants to know.
You can do a better job.
Are you ready? Come on. You have to say it. It's amazing the response this gets pan-India.
Oh, it's okay. Huh?
Oh, India wants to know.
The Republic wants to know. The Republic wants to know.
But that will force people, I'm sure we'll see that a lot. Just one for nostalgia's sake, the nation wants to know, or India wants to know.
What does the nation want to know, Mr. Broacha?
Well, it was the lurid details of your life in England. When you decided to become a hermit, put oil in your hands in the library, and please take us to Republic, which inspired you to do this now.
Mr. Broacha, very often, I have wanted.
He's got two telephones, ladies and gentlemen. Arnab Goswami, that's a player. The moment you have two or more, you're a player. Alright? He's a social player, definitely. He wants to right wrongs, injustices, all that is there. But there's also a lower half to every man, and he's a player.
Say it for me. Say it for me, sir. Say nation wants to know.
The nation wants to know.
Stronger with the stronger.
The nation wants to know. It's going to be a good
Is there soul in what he said? Is the soul missing? Come on, Cyrus, you've been practicing this at 9:45. 1 second. 1 second, Cyrus. Just 1 minute, Cyrus. Just 1 minute. Unable to match us. Having lost the ratings battle.
I know the channel.
A channel decided that we will throw the last roll of the dice. They decided to come up with Cyrus Broacha. They put him up every night. They even imitated the graphics.
Is this true?
They put sideburns on you. Now I want to know from you, Mr. Broacha, whether you can say nation wants to know with heart, with soul. Give me some soul, Cyrus.
I feel like I'm having a failed
Give me
election.
some, say it with so.
Alright, hold my hand.
No.
With the force we will.
No, we don't know that.
See, player, won't hold my hand.
No.
Won't share.
No. Say it.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's all say it together.
No, don't.
One,
Don't.
two,
No,
three.
you say it alone.
The nation wants to know.
No.
No?
Slightly higher.
The nation wants to know.
5 on 10.
One last chance. The nation wants to know. On Monday you do more with the nation, on Tuesday it's more with the want, till the emphasis changes. Depends. But largely it's Pakistan's fault. That they realize. I'm not going to shake my bottle, let's not reduce this show. Yeah. Alright, coming back from England, we digress to silly comedy, the nation does want to know. You come back, and now please correct me if I'm wrong, you join NTV. Is that?
You're having a tough time. Besides.
Oh, we're fine. Everybody good? They want to know all about you.
Ask.
So go ahead, tell us.
So I came back from UK. I joined a newspaper called Telegraph in Kolkata. 9 months. And then I came to NTV. 9.5 years I was in
Awkward figure
NTV.
to mention, but yes.
Huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Explain. See, I don't live in the world of double meaning like you.
The nation wanted to know, so I told them. That's it. I must say the other nation doesn't want to know. Just be careful.
How many times will you repeat?
Back to NTV. Let's
So I
not
came to
digress.
NDTV for 9.5 years. I was in NDTV. See, simple life. You think you're doing investigative journalism on me? 9.5 years in NDTV. I did well. I got bored. I quit. I came to Times of India. They had they wanted to launch a channel. I launched a channel. I ran it for about 12 years. Very successfully. I did a good show.
Okay, let's move.
I then am now launching Republic.
Okay, we'll come to Republic in a bit. Let's talk a little bit about these 12 years where you rule the roost. Before we go to Rahul Gandhi interview, top 5 politicians that you interviewed. Top 5.
In what way?
In a good way. Biggest laugh of the night, sitting in the audience.
Interesting people to interview for one reason or the other. I think Lalu Prasad, very politically aware, very grounded, very difficult to corner. Balasaheb Thackeray, very quick, quick with the response. Fantastic. Mr. Modi, very well prepared. Lot of personal life experience which he brings into the interviews. Interesting perspective. Among the international figures, Benazir Bhutto, I think her second last interview ever was to me. And there was this moment I was interviewing her, Cyrus, this was in Dubai. And in Dubai, when we were interviewing her, she came very happy one day. I waited 4 hours and I said, "You're so late." So she said that I have just come from the spa. And I said, "You're going back to Pakistan in 2 weeks." This is 2 weeks before she went back to Pakistan where she was killed. And she said, "I'm just having a good time. Because I know I will not survive this." And when we was just about to start the interview, Cyrus, she changed the chair at the last minute because her back was facing the door. And she suddenly felt scared for security issues. She wanted to face the door. So it told you a lot about her psychology. And in that interview, she indicated that she would be killed. And she was indicating that her political rivals like Musharraf were trying to eliminate her. So Benazir Bhutto strike. The most amazing guy I've interviewed is Julian Assange. I don't know if you remember, in 2010 to 12 period, we went ahead with 6 or 7 big scams. CWG scam, 2G scam, Devas Isro, Kargil for Profit, Adarsh, Aircel Maxis. And it was a phase in Indian journalism where nobody had gone for the attack like we had. At that time, I had in 2011 end or somewhere gone to UK, and I was the only person to get a chance to interview Julian Assange when he was not in the Ecuador embassy. So I had a long chat. And I said, this is the work I've done, Julian. And Julian said, no, I've done it. He had whole research on the stories I had done. And he took me to a room where he had broken the big stories of WikiLeaks. And as I was going, I said, Julian, what scares you? And he says, I said, there is no security around you. You have taken on the whole American government. CIA, everyone would like to eliminate you. And I saw security. He was sitting in a bathroom, an open field. He said, I am not scared of some political assassin. I'm scared of the freaks.
Of the?
Those who are absolutely freakish in their behavior. Those who are not psychologically stable, those who are paranoid to an extent where they can have these negative thoughts. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, once I was walking down the road and somebody came there and she waved, Julian. And then as he pulled his hand, she pulled him and she said, I'm going to get you. He said, it's those people I'm scared of. And eventually while going out, I asked Julian, any bit of advice? We had a good conversation. And he said to me, never stop hitting. Because the moment you stop hitting, they're going to get you. It's strange, but Julian Assange stopped hitting and then the American government got him. So these are the 5 figures I think are fascinating in terms of interview subjects. All of them very different, but all of them very, very deep in their own way.
Alright, let's look at the other end of the spectrum, because I think it was interesting, but we need a little brevity and light heartedness as well. The comic side of Arnab, that was my brief. The stand-up comedian in Arnab, the funnier side. So let's look at the interviews that were ridiculous, silly. There's one for sure, the one that sets the standard. But for the 5 who were, thinking to yourself, this is like a ridiculous interview, this guy is too much, that kind of thing.
You watched all that I have done.
Okay, let me put it this way. Can I name politicians and you tell me what you think? How's that?
No, I don't do rapid fire. Let me set the rules very clearly here.
I'm not Karan Johar, don't worry. Alright.
Who's Karan Johar?
Come on, they want to know your opinions, come on. You can't stop giving us your opinion today, you can't keep quiet, for God's sake. Alright, Mulayam Singh.
I don't give these one-word reply.
Okay.
What do you want me to
Your
say?
thoughts on the UP election? This is the 5th phase, it's a very convoluted situation.
May the best man win.
Also, does he send my opinion? No. I don't believe that, sorry. No, I don't believe like that. Please, no. That's not good. I'm sorry. No. So who do you think is going to win? See, the whole thing with the Yadav family that's played out in the last couple of months has made it worse than a soap opera. Of course, Tamil Nadu is on their own, just out of control.
It's a jugalbandi. It's a jugalbandi that's going on. What happened between Mulayam and Akhilesh was a jugalbandi. It was a staged act. They were putting it up. Everybody, including you, got fooled by it. Come on, it'll be real. Son and father fighting like that before an election. A made-up drama. All the media falling for it, analyzing it night after night. What's going to happen? I can ask you, you were on TV, I wasn't. Why did you fall for it, Cyrus?
Okay.
So why did you fall for it, Cyrus?
By the way, I studied in Sydney, so you're responsible. This is true. Alright, we move away from the others. Let's talk about 2 interesting figures of our time. Rahul Gandhi, I won't discuss it in depth with you.
I knew this was coming. This is Cyrus's last roll of the dice.
No, there's also one more to top him, which is Donald Trump. But take us through that Rahul Gandhi interview that you made. Was it your intention, I must be seriously, was it your intention to sort of bring him down, or it just sort of happened? He was unable to answer and...
I think it was a very good interview for me.
Not too many congressmen in the house, I can tell you that.
Are there many left?
Not in this part of Bombay, that's for sure.
So it's a good interview. So before the interview, we sat down, we went to the green room, and he'd done his research on me. Went to the green room, we spoke, and he asked me, how old are you? So I said, Rahul, I'm 40 years old. So he said, oh, you're much younger to me. I said, yes, but I have got 19 years of work experience. And after that, I put on some makeup. I asked Rahul whether he wants makeup. He refused. He has the complexion, I don't. And we went. We did the interview. When I came up.
What was the aftermath?
Between
you and him? Was he angry?
I didn't speak much to him after the interview. I sort of took the tape and tried to run. Then I was called back. We had sandwiches and tea, very civilized. I was asked how I felt the interview went. I had tape in my hand, which I was protecting like this. I said, I think the interview went very well. And then he agreed. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. I'm giving a serious reply to a serious question from a serious man.
Well, we've got to put it this way. The audience wants to hear the funnies today, whatever happened. Donald Trump.
I've never met him.
Now give us your view. We'd love to know you. If you did interview him, what would you ask him? What were the 3 or 4 questions you really want to ask him? Do you think it's an act, the whole, anti-immigration sort of xenophobic sort of underlying tone? Is it just something to get attention? Or
I think Donald Trump is a very, very well researched and extremely well thought out businessman. He has his business strategy clear. He believes in nothing. He only believes in his political success and his political relevance. All of those people who think that Donald Trump has a view this way or that is wrong. Donald Trump will work for whatever he thinks is his share of his political profit. And he has excelled in it. I mean, the man has simply sold himself all his life. So, I don't take his views seriously. He will go for whatever works. And right now, I think, he's got his fair share of attention.
Do you see the rise of the right across the Western world?
No, it's an anti-establishment thing. I mean, the fact is that you've had this entrenched establishment in India, Europe, UK, America. These are elite media, political parties, businessmen. There's been a coterie. It's not just a coterie in India. There's a coterie in Washington. There's a coterie in London. There's a coterie in Australia. There's a coterie in Copenhagen. Now there are people out there who are saying that this coterie is not working for us. And you actually look at it. Look at the immigration. Where has it taken Europe? Do people there feel insecure? They do. If they say we are feeling insecure, I don't see what's wrong with it. People say our culture is being threatened. Isn't it? It is. Why should we be so politically correct up to a point where we don't accept the reality that is facing us? People say across Europe that we don't feel secure anymore. There have been terrorist attacks. There is too much political correctness. There has been a lot of immigration. And it's gone to a point where the local cultures are being affected. In fact, I saw Brexit coming. I've studied in the UK, I know it. The media was in denial about Brexit. The same media was in denial about Trump. Trump is a reality. Trump is a result of the disaffection among people. And Trump has just very smartly positioned himself. I find a lot of similarities between Donald Trump and Arvind Kejriwal. And let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you. Both are masters at marketing. Arvind Kejriwal had nothing to do with breaking any of the scams that we broke. Between 2010 and 2011, we broke the scams. Do you agree with me?
I better.
We broke the scams. We took the risks, we took on the politicians, we took on the corruption. Arvind Kejriwal and India Against Corruption positioned themselves in March as those people at the vanguard of fighting corruption. Was that correct? It was not. Did the issue they pick up, was that issue worth fighting for? It was. What Arvind Kejriwal did was that he took advantage of the disaffection among people to propel his political career. Donald Trump has similarly taken advantage of years of disaffection, unemployment, and economic levels falling in America to position himself as a political leader. They are both men who are masters at political marketing. So I find that similarity between these people, both of whom are taking advantage of a unique set of circumstances.
But here's the thing, Donald Trump comes to power with no support from the press, almost none. Even the right-wing press sort of turns against him towards the end, what they call the right-wing press. So in a sense, how does it happen that a man who everybody's sort of pointing fingers at and everybody's saying is wrong for the country, then actually wins and wins well?
Some parts of the press in America and some parts of the press in India are out of touch with reality. They're insulated. That is why I always say, Lutyens media is the most compromised media in this country. Nobody has compromised India more than a bunch of rich editors and newspaper owners and media owners sitting in Lutyens media. For 70 years, they have not had the guts to take on one government. They have not broken one scam. They only pass judgment on those who do. This media, therefore, has lost touch with India. Republic is an answer and a counter to Lutyens media. Point number one. Point number two, a part of the media in America has also got compromised. They are not having fun anymore. They know they won't be invited to the big events anymore. There are no free lunches anymore. Same thing, there are no free lunches for the media in Delhi anymore. So what do you do when you're out of touch with reality? And also the new entrants who are going to come in don't indulge you anymore. You turn anti them. So there is a whole bunch of people who are anti the establishment in Delhi in India and anti the establishment in America as well. Criticize them, put them on watch, ask them questions, but have some sense of reality. When I watch CNN nowadays, I'm embarrassed. CNN is not a channel anymore. CNN is fighting a battle and it's taken too many sides. I felt so upset when I saw that on the day of the Trump election, instead of focusing on the politics, they were focusing on Trump's wife, what clothes she was wearing and whether she was a wannabe. Now that's when you're making your attack personal. Make your attack political. Make your attack factual. Question people on facts. Don't be there, just soar because you're not getting attention anymore. So, media in India also must understand that it has lost touch with this country. I went to Bengaluru. You saw parts of that video there. And in Bengaluru, 30 women had been groped in MG Road on New Year's Eve. 30 women. And there was another incident in Kamanahalli where a woman was groped. This father-son duo, Mulayam and Akhilesh, were doing this jugalbandi at that point of time. What was the media in India doing, Cyrus? The media in India was not focusing on 30 women being groped, but was focusing on this jugalbandi between Mulayam and Akhilesh. They are doing a disservice to the country. And the other question is to be asked, how independent is the media? I want to ask you today, Cyrus, if there is a media which has taken favors from Mulayam Singh Yadav, if there is a media which has accepted largesse from Mulayam Singh Yadav, if there is a media which has accepted tens of hundreds of acres of land from Mulayam Singh Yadav, I want to know from you whether you think that media or that media organization will have the guts to do neutral journalism from Mulayam Singh Yadav. If I take property from you, can I do an honest story on him? I'm asking the audience. Can I? Tell me this. No, you tell me. I'm asking you a question, Cyrus. If someone were to give you 1 acre of land free, or with a concession, saying Cyrus is a good man, Cyrus should build a hospital. You may have no expertise in building a hospital. And you take that land. After that, will you be able to do honest journalism on the person who gave you that free gift? Yes or no? That is the crisis. That is the crisis. No, but that is the crisis of Indian media. I think there should be a serious investigation done on how many media organizations have taken how much free largesse from how many politicians and for what reason. That is why we are launching Republic. I hate compromised media. In my last 10 years, I want to stand up now and ask the media some straight questions. How much of what they ask comes from their heart and how much comes from their pocket?
And may I just add, if you find Arnab has become louder, it's because it's 9 o'clock. That's it's a Chinese thing.
You're avoiding my question, Cyrus.
Suddenly I got
Avoiding my question.
No, fair enough.
Answer my question, Cyrus.
I compromised. I live in Mumbai Hill, right next to the Mukhyamantri of Maharashtra, and lots
Has
of.
he given you free land?
Well, I asked him if I could have my daughter's party in his house at an event once, and he just laughed. He treated me like a Shiv Sena.
I think you should. I think you should start a newspaper.
No.
You'll have a different experience.
I'm all for donations. I think donations should be allowed. It's what made India great. I don't know why we stopped that. But no, we get your point. Moving a little forward, within Trump and within the West, aside, let's talk about Republic now. You've come back in this new avatar, you just mentioned it. And you're right, there's a lot of psychophancy, there's lots of aligned journalists and media, not just here, all over the world. So, Arnab Goswami comes back. You're high and above the best known name in this business. There's a lot of pressure on you at the moment.
I'm completely and totally relaxed. The supreme irony is that there is a media house in this country which wakes up every morning and says, we will not let Arnab Goswami crush us. The top executive of the media organization wakes up every morning and gives an interview saying, we will not let Arnab Goswami ruin us, finish us, crush us. I really think they should take a chill pill.
I wonder who that news organization is. Is it 2 words?
This is among the people of this country and people who watch, they can guess.
Please don't answer, but
I want them to take a chill pill.
correct.
We do our journalism among the people. The journalism I have done is for people to see. I am a great believer in this country. It has now become a fashion in this country to run down your own country. It has become fashionable in India to abuse your own country and to say we should break it up into 1,000 pieces and call that freedom of expression. I want to know, Cyrus, where were those people? Where was their freedom of expression when we were at the vanguard of breaking the scams and they were sitting behind hiding? Why did they not use their freedom of expression to expose the corrupt in this country? I went to a press conference once of Manmohan Singh in February 2011, and there were 14 editors. The biggest scams in the country had broken. Not one of them in a televised press conference was willing to ask the Prime Minister of India, Manmohan Singh, one question on corruption. Those people have no right anymore to talk about freedom of expression. The people of this country know fully well who is true and who is honest. I took a position on JNU, I was correct. Ask 10 times from now, I would ask those people who questioned me when some people said Burhan Wali Azadi. I want to remind them, go and find out which media organizations were making Burhan Wani into some kind of a local folklore hero. Somebody who attacks my nation is not a hero. We ask the straight questions. Why don't these people, these pseudos, use their freedom of expression for the people? Why don't they do a campaign on VVIP racism? We did a campaign on VVIP racism, I don't know if you know about it. Our campaign was principally simple, Cyrus. It said, stand in a line. If you're a neta, don't break the line. If there's somebody who's in an ambulance, a common Aam Aadmi going, don't block traffic because you're a neta, you should go past. That was a campaign for the people. Why don't these pseudos in the Lutyens media do one campaign like that? Why have they not taken on issues with the intensity which we have? Since you spoke about Trump, I must tell you, I was very moved yesterday when one of the young members in my team showed me a letter that the wife of the 32-year-old gentleman who had been killed in the US wrote. And she wrote that my husband was a fan of Arnab and was waiting for him to come back with her. I am not on him when that happened. But I really wonder, Cyrus, why was our media silent when that 32-year-old boy was killed? Why didn't we raise our voice? Why didn't we make it a campaign? Why didn't we fight for this injustice? Do we want the next 32-year-old or 22-year-old to be killed across America? And why are we so distracted with Mayawati, Mulayam and Akhilesh? What are the important issues in this country? And for what reason? So, Cyrus, let me tell you this. That's why I have said and gone around everywhere and I'm saying this. Republic is not just a TV channel. It is a people's movement. And I want to tell you, in the last 4 months, everything that these people who don't want an independent media to be born in this country, and let this video go public, let everyone see it. There is a group of people who are afraid of what will happen if me and my group of journalists become independent. Because we will threaten them. Because we are not motivated and we've not sold out. These people have tried everything, every dirty trick with a capital D and T, to try and stop it. They've tried everything, Cyrus. But I know now that I have people on my side and I will not be stopped. So this campaign now, and they have told me that what will you do? You don't have much money. We have lots of money. If the hearts of people in this country could be won by money, then let's have a fight. You can't buy people. So Republic is a people's movement. We have dedicated to the people of this country. And in 2017, I can assure you the people of this country are with us, not with those who show off their money.
Okay, I'm going to take this away from this because I think when we open the floor in a few minutes, they'll ask you questions about Republic again. There's 5 minutes. You can SMS them if you want to answer, but you can get I just want to ask you some personal questions because that's something people are fascinated by you, whether you like it or not. My father, for example, asked me one day in a thick Parsi accent, he said, "Why are they always angry?" He loves you, they love watching you. But they want to know whether you like them off camera, as in when you go home, you're having breakfast, it's like, pass the damn pepper now! Or is it more like, so what happens to Arnab off camera?
No, I don't try it at home.
No, you dare not. A little bit about the personal side of Arnab Goswami. We can see the zeal, we can see the crusader, we've seen that for 12 years and we'll see that again in the Republic. And I'm sure
I like, I'm an easygoing person, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
We once sat on a flight together.
I know, and the air hostess was telling me, is he as angry as he worked out? And he was so calm and you actually fell asleep, I think, for a little while. But that was because I was talking, it happens all the time.
No, I have a wonderful family. Wonderful and very, very supportive family. I have a great bunch of people I work with. We enjoy life, we fight, we scream, we shout, but we love our job. I like walking on the roads. No bodyguards, no worry. I walk on the roads in Goa. I like to put on my sneakers, put on my music.
I love with sneakers. That's the show I'll watch.
I like music of all kinds.
What kind of music?
Well, I like, my son is a teenager, he tells me about the latest music. I like groups like, my time, Jim Morrison, Dire Straits, Radiohead, Pink Floyd, Cranberries.
Radiohead's most favorite song is I'm a Creeper, if you didn't get it.
That's my favorite.
There you go, yeah.
It's metaphorical, for God's sake.
Fair enough, yeah. I'll pick it up one day, second verse at least. Yeah. Alright, I'm sure there are lots of people who want to ask lots of questions. There's only a couple of people whose hands went up.
But I just want to ask you a question. Will you watch Republic? Yeah. I want to hear it a little louder. Yeah. Will you watch Republic? Thank you very much. That's the shout I want. I feel so happy. We don't have to do any marketing because people already know us. Cyrus, this is love. I feel so blessed. A friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, came and told me that you feel so blessed that people are there. And I feel so blessed that good people are. In the audience, there is my friend and the CEO of Republic, Vikas Kanchandani. He could have had, Vikas could have had any job he wanted in television. And Vikas is with me, and we have a bunch of people equally passionate. This is a blessing of the God above. I think there is a hand of the God above. So you tell your dad, Arnab, feel secure in your love, your blessings. What do we need otherwise?
Fair enough. Also, this is another Arnab moment for me, because the poor guy was trying to ask a question, was shouted down before he leaves. Arnab, give a monologue and your question goes to hell. It's one, Can we get a mic? There's someone with the mic to do. Yeah. And just give us your name as well, please.
My name is Chitranjan. I am from Uttar. I have a couple of questions. Your father fight with BJP, your grandfather with Congress, and your Nanaji is in Communist. What do you think what you are?
I'm a journalist. What you forgot to mention was that both my grandfathers,
Yeah.
my paternal grandfather Rajnikanta Goswami was a freedom fighter. My maternal grandfather Gauri Shankar Bhattacharya was a freedom fighter and a many times Sahitya Academy Award winner. One was with the Congress pre-independence, remember? See, there were people who were with the Congress before independence, but after independence he was not. My grandfather lived his whole life austere as a leftist, hardcore leftist. You know Bhupen Hazarika?
Yes.
When Bhupen Hazarika fought his first election, he fought the name of a party called People's Democratic Party of Assam, which was my grandfather's party. And you're correct about my father, he fought an election for the BJP. I'm a journalist, I'm the only journalist who does a 9 o'clock show, who has gone on air on television and said, I will die a journalist till my last day, and this is my vow to the people who love me. So I can be clear, I am not looking for an entrance to the Rajya Sabha. I'm clear about it. We will do media, we will have an independent media in India, and we want to have an independent media from India for the world.
What do you think when you take your first interview with Sonia Gandhi?
My first meeting with Sonia Gandhi,
I have read somewhere that you are the person that we have to take first interview.
I did the first TV interview with Sonia Gandhi. It was Sri Parambudu, 1999 also. There was a man called Sitaram Kesri, was Congress president, remember?
Yeah.
So she had not entered politics. She went to give her first political speech in Sri Parambudu. And my boss at that time was on leave, so I got to do the story. So I went to Chennai, went to Sri Parambudu, came back. They didn't even let me close doing a piece to camera. So I was very disappointed. When the plane landed, I took off my belt, seat belt. Well, it was on the tarmac and the plane was moving, and I had smuggled a battery into a large pneumatic camera. And I ran from seat number 40 to business class. And I started shouting, Mrs. Gandhi, I want an interview. And there was Mr. Vanchu from the Specialist Protection Group who saw me so desperate. I think I was 24 or 25 years old. I was just so desperate to get an interview that they just pushed me back. What are you doing? You can't do this. And my camera person, Narendra Godawali, said, you've gone mad. You don't do this. You can't get an interview like this. And I was disappointed. I came back. After 1 minute, somebody from the SPG came and said, you're being called. So I went down to the tarmac. And Mrs. Sonia Gandhi was waiting. There was Priyanka there, and there were all the security group. And she said, ask me any questions. And I didn't know what to do. I was being offered an interview on the tarmac at Parliament. So I asked a few questions. And that was the first ever TV interview of Sonia Gandhi. But interestingly, she told me she's not interested in politics. but so this is a magical moment. You reminded me of it so beautifully. I'd almost forgotten.
Arnab, can you share your experience when you went to BSc in 2015? You are the first journalist.
To me?
When in BSc, Bombay Stock Exchange, you were bell in 2000. Bell
That was just, I just rang the bell. Not much
Can we allow somebody else? You're monopolizing the news days.
He's doing a frankly speaking with me.
Now, one of the last question only. What do you
One
think
of the
about
Start your own channel, you're talking about
what do you think about the Subramaniam song?
good question.
Mr. Subramaniam Swami is a very enthusiastic man.
Well, good, we'll leave it at that. Timmy, let somebody else.
Question only. I have heard that your net and voice is insured at 50 crores. What is the reason behind this?
What at 50?
Your neck and head.
Your net and voice is insured 50 crores.
And I said, there's nothing like that. I can't afford that kind of insurance policy.
And what about that Bhupen Hazarika?
What about?
What do you think about that Bhupen Hazarika?
Bhupen Hazarika.
Bhupen Hazarika is my favorite for all time.
Security, can you escort the gentleman? This is ridiculous. This is like interrogation now.
Cyrus.
One question. The gentleman in the first class, you can't deny it. Yes.
No. Good evening. Very happy to have you.
Good evening, sir. Nice to see you.
Sir, two questions. One question only. There was another. I'll hold myself.
Just too good.
There is a female, what you call, dynamic and daring reporter, Sucheta Dalal, you know her. And there is another website which she catches, like ProPublica, which is against the US media and US sort of standard news people who are in the coterie. At Republic, do we expect something similar or in that way? Because she was the one who got Harshad Mehta's scam way back in '92, lost her job and went on to win Padma Shri.
So are you saying you should be anti-liberal press?
No. I think
It is a fact. So
I'm a great fan of ProPublica. I don't know if you're aware, but we ran the documentary done by 2611. I forgot the name of the journalist. And we had collaborated with ProPublica to put that investigative piece of 2611 on our channel. When I was there. And as far as Sucheta Dalal is concerned, she's a fantastic business journalist. The digital medium allows for such people to do their independent, and that is the best part. You won't have to be dependent on some newspaper owner or media owner to have your own media. So I would very much be happy to collaborate with these people. In Republic, I'm happy to tell you that we have our own investigative wing, which will do detailed people-oriented stories. So Cheta does financial investigation. I'm aware of that. We will have people-oriented investigative stories. Under the leadership of one of India's best-known investigative journalists, it's just that she has not joined us formally yet, but we'll make the announcements.
All right. I think the first gentleman wants to ask more questions. Just kidding. Anybody else? Yeah. There's a man kneeling. Oh.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Arnab, do you think Rajiv Gandhi is ever going to grow up? Or
Rajiv Gandhi is not. All right.
I'm sorry, Rahul Gandhi.
No alcohol, table
Is Rahul Gandhi ever going to grow up? Or is Congress going to self-destruct? Piggybacking on the wrong horse.
Is he bringing down the party? Everybody asked this question.
So you should ask him. I have not met him since January
He
2014.
can't stop thinking about you after the interview.
I have met him since 2014. You will know, sir, when I interview him again, sir. I hope I get a chance next time.
Oh, no, come on. This is an important question. Do you think Congress is, by keeping him there, sort of, self-destructing? Exactly what he said. Do they need new leadership? We need an opposition.
That question has been asked for a long time now, but the party has to decide. The party seems to be happy with Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, so we understand the meaning of that point, basically. So if you want to join the Congress, this is the time. And that's the order of strategy. Okay. Anybody else? Can we have someone from the economy class also? Republic is about everybody, for the people, by the people. Yeah.
It's a great pleasure, Arnab, to see you. We are eagerly waiting for Republic. My name is Pradeep Shetty. And when are you going on air?
We should go on air, I said, in 2 months. Yeah, thank you, sir. And please watch us. And I have a request also, and I'm making it publicly, and I hope this is put on the internet. Please call your local cable operators and your DTH players. Please call them and tell them to put Republic TV on. I don't want any distance between me and our viewers. Please call your local cable operators and tell them that Republic is launching in 2 months. Please put the channel on. It will be a great time. Thank you.
So in other words, you're doing the marketing and sales yourself.
Well, I don't have hundreds of crores like you, Cyrus.
Next, Satya.
Yeah. Arnab, hi, I'm Rajesh Panchal here.
Okay, sorry. We got to.
Yeah,
Go
so Arnab, I'm sure in your career at least few thousands, or I don't know the number, you made the politicians, actors, well-known amenities, personalities quiet. How about you at home with Pepe?
We asked him that question.
Yes, the question.
You were on the phone with some adult content. Actually, Could you please have questions that are shorter than, you know, I mean, 40-50-minute questions, you fall asleep.
Model on you, sir.
Yeah, looks like
Models on you, sir.
Filibustering, that's
Tell him what the nation wants to know.
Yeah.
Say it once more, sir. Say it. Say it, sir.
I'll say it before we end for sure.
Yeah, the nation wants to know, I'm sure.
Pulling your
Okay, on a serious note, with no offense to Cyrus, when you take a story, how do you make sure you're not biased? Is there a control or some level of understanding or fact checking that you get into before you declare that I'm taking it on?
See, first of all, I have never taken up an issue in which I am personally involved. So luckily, I have very few attachments. So we pick up a story saying that, you know, we treat it as a story. Second point is that we look at the facts very, very closely. We have a very good and very strong analysis team. And I'm happy to say that the best analysis team is now with Republic. So you will find a very detailed analysis of the subject. Thirdly, we don't talk off the top of our hat. Behind every question and every story, there is a deep amount of research and fact-checking which happens. Which is why the greatest factual mistake that I ever made in my 10 years with my previous channel, the only greatest mistake I made was where a wrong picture of a judge was picked up by a graphics machine and put on it. Because the judge's name was similar to somebody else. So two names starting with S, the computer picked up a wrong picture. And you know what happened? I was sued for 100 crore rupees. 100 crore rupees for my graphics machine picking the wrong picture of a judge. And the courts were unforgiving. The reason and I had the best lawyers in India. Two fantastic lawyers called Harish Sarve and Gopal Subramaniam. I'm sure you've heard of them. Standing up in court, and these two gentlemen stood up for me without taking a penny from me. They said they're just doing it, you know, as to support our journalism. They stood up in court, they weren't even allowed to speak because the judges were very tough with us. So nobody forgives us a mistake. If a graphics machine picks up a wrong picture and you're sued for 100 crore rupees, you can imagine how closely we watch every fact before we put it out. So luckily, that level of fact checking holds us true. But more importantly than anything else, let me tell you, we have one policy. Don't even take a safety pin as a favor from someone. You take a safety pin as a favor in 2017 from a politician. In 2027, the same politician will come and say, I have an IOU one. So we are very independent in that sense. So all this sort of works for us and keeps our journalism here.
Okay, but how did that story end? Are you allowed to tell us?
The case, like all cases, is still going on.
One advice I would request from you. See, most of this community end up sometimes taking decisions which over the next 3-4 years end up on the wrong side. And particularly the CTOs, CIOs have the habit of picking wrong horses, and a couple of years down the line with a lot of money lost, you kind of end up trying to figure out what we have done. So can you suggest some strategies that you take up to make sure that you don't make mistakes?
I can't suggest.
You'll be charging for that.
I can't
Starting a
suggest.
new channel.
I can't suggest. I can't suggest. Be paranoid about making mistakes.
As Mr. Goswami's lawyer, I'll have to ask you.
Thank you.
I'm the cheaper one. Okay, I think we have time only for 2 more. So, guessing, community ties, so I have to allow it. And the gentleman in the back, please, give the mic. Last 2 questions, yeah.
Arnab sir, good evening.
Good
I'm
evening.
Vijay Tamal.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, wish you all the best for your news channel Republic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I have just queried as a common man. See, all politicians are very corrupt. Very corrupt. Because I have experienced all the parties, their leaders, they are corrupt. How you are going to create a confidence in common man?
By giving them a voice. You create confidence among the people by giving them a voice. I feel I'm a common man, and when I'm speaking on your behalf. All the work that I have done, sir, is not for me. We have taken significant risks, as you would appreciate. When we take on these corrupt people, they are not very nice to us. But we do it with the confidence that we have your support. And we do it repeatedly, thinking of what is right for people. So I simply ask myself a question: what is in the public interest? And based upon that, we do our journalism. And Republic also will be a dedication to public interest. I don't know you, I have never met you. Today is our first time we've interacted, but somewhere when I'm on TV, I look at that camera and I ask myself, what is the one question which would be on your mind? And that somewhere, more or less, we get the answer. Very often.
Because our country's future is in their hand.
Okay.
Our country's future is not in the hands of politicians alone, sir. Our country's future is in the hands of the people of this country. And the media should be a reflection of the people of this country.
Okay, so
Thank
it's
you,
not a
thank you, sir.
hopeless, it's not a hopeless situation. To sum it up, not yet. We'll tell you when to pay. All right. Gets to go back to work actually. Last squeeze that in. Come on, last. Quick.
Quick one. There was a lot of WhatsApp jokes on you. Okay, it's sort of dried up now. But did you read any of them and you laughed at that?
Oh yeah, very often.
I can tell you, he's one of those, that's the wonderful thing about him. He has no problem laughing at himself, which is a wonderful thing. I think he knows it's a tribute to how big he became very quickly. That Arnab Goswami is the standard, and all these jokes and everything else is part of that. No, it's not an issue.
No, I love it. I have no problem at all.
But don't call me up at 2 in the morning and say something funny about me. Very good, dismissal. All right. One last question. Yeah. Okay, waiting for PT Usha to make the run with the mic. Last year.
Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Arnab. I'm the one of the fan of you. I have never missed your news hour debate since last 2007 hours. Till 13th November 2016. Okay, last show. If you look right now, what is happening right now in the Delhi University. Okay.
Right, sir.
Okay. And just 1 year before it was happened in the JNU, right?
Yeah.
So that time you are standing against all those media channels and everything. And some of the media channels, they put a black screen, okay, and give some voice, okay, against, and then also indirectly they are talking about you, okay. So how you look at right now, the education system is right now the way it is politicized. So what is your view on this? One question. Second question. Yes, right now you are coming with the new journal, that is Republic. It is funded by a BJP Rajya Sabha member, right? So can you just clear that air? It is a Republic independent journal.
Thank you for the longest question ever, controversial as it is. Would you like
Both my questions are answered. We are the first media organization whose entire investment is in the public domain. I want to know which other media venture puts the name of each and every investor, including people who put a few lakh rupees in the public domain. I would like to know if any of them have. I have done so. That's answer to your second question. As regards to the first question, when I interviewed Musharraf, my first and last interview with him, I asked him a question on Kargil. And Captain Saurabh Kalia, whose body came back mutilated, was not killed by war. He was killed by Pakistan. His body was not mutilated by war, because war does not allow for the mutilation of the bodies of those who should be treated like prisoners of war. When you gouge out the eyes and you mutilate the bodies of our soldiers, they are not killed or mutilated by a metaphorical concept called war. They are killed by Pakistan. And if in this country there is a group of people who are embarrassed about calling out Pakistan as the reason for the war against India, I don't know what to say of them. My view on India is today the same as it was during JNU. Unfortunately, today I don't have a channel My satellite is not ready, and my studios are still being prepared. But I can assure you that if I was on air, I would have spoken my mind. I have watched with a great deal of anger the debate that has gone on following the incidents at Ramjas. People should remember not to take chances with the country. But I think the people of this country have seen through these fake attempts at making these controversies big. My position is the same. I think I was right, and I don't care, sir, what the rest of the media says about me. The rest of the media also spoke out against me when I took a position on jail. And when Republic is going to be on air, by the grace of the God Almighty, Republic will be on air soon, then I will give out my position on issues like the ones which were spoken. But I'm watching, and I'm watching this debate, and I have my strong views about it, which I will share when I'm on air.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to channel on in a few weeks' time, so we need to release him and let him go. But before we do that, he's offered to end the night through Arnab style, ladies and gentlemen, with his rendition of Jim Morrison's LA Woman. Would you like to